Hello, Katja here, and welcome to this tutorial. I will show you what you can do with the liquid acrylic paint. Yes, I will show you 4 different ways how you can use it. I also on my table I have some liquid acrylic sparks and the blending solution, some stencils and different kind of paper, copying paper, more heavy paper, some note paper, and I will play with the liquid acrylic paint on my jelly plate. Yes. I like to make experiments and to make different surfaces and patterns. And here I have some paint, the emerald, and I'm tapping around. And first I was spraying some water. I have the emerald and the deep turquoise here. I like that mix. It's really get a nice combination. Yeah, I adding more water, and I know now you see how much water I have on my plate, so it will really have a watercolor effect. There are still some paint on my yellow plate, so I add a little bit ink black and go around with my roller and having some paper, and now you can see there is not so much water left. Oh, really nice pattern. What do you think? Yes, this indeed you can use in the background of your layouts, canvases, art journals, card making, anything you like. So I will try out some more. The deep turquoise and the emerald will go again, and I go carefully, and I also like to test the white one. I'm trying to do some splatters and adding a little bit of water, and you see I go with the brush and I get a more pastel color. Yeah, and trying out on a regular copying paper, and I can see it's so much water on, but really nice pattern, but still a lot of paint left on my yellow plate, and I want it to be more soft shade, so I'm adding some of the blending solution. And you see I'm taking off a little bit on the paint on the paper side. So you don't need so much color on this technique, and I'm not looking for a regular pattern or color. This is to have like a background or something for a project. That's why I'm trying to find some paper that I can use in my journal in different projects, because I think, oh, that's gorgeous, the black and the teal, yeah, and I have a really nice pattern, so I have them on my table too. They will dry up. Spraying some water again and some teal. I'm not giving up. I will do some more experiment. Not so much color now. I only have a little bit color. More, you see. Ah, that's more nice and not so much. it was really nice pattern, and I'm thinking some of the paper that I do patterns, I can do it once more on them. Now I'm having more color. I have a bit of brown, the burnt sienna, and you see I'm going a little bit here and there to make little bit, and here I'm doing on the back side, and I'm doing here with the brayer, and that's because you can use both sides. Oh, that's also a nice pattern. Oh, I really like it. Brown and bluish color, yes, very different, but no plan at all. So we go on with some emerald, and I go with the brayer, adding some of the teal, only a little bit, and being carefully, not too much, doing few drops. And you see I go with the brayer on the paper, and here I have a little bit black, and I don't do it too much because it's only will it gets very blurry. Here I have a stencil, honeycomb stencil, and have a that's I don't know, gel paper, I don't know the name of it, and I'm looking forward to this pattern what will come now. So I have this music note paper, um, more vintage, so I was not really happy with it. So I go on adding some water and more brown burnt sienna, and I'm sure you can do this on your way. I only show you my way and how I have some leftover time and doing some experiments to mix and match some color and to test different papers. Ah, that's really nice. So trying different color combination, different papers, um, and see how much water I can add. Ah, this is really a test to see if I can do something. Now I have some paint left on my jelly plate, and I'm adding white heavy gesso. You can have white acrylic paint also. Be sure to not be too heavy paint so it's not getting dry too fast. So I'm having a full cover coat on my plate. I leave it to dry a little bit, and now I'm lifting up the leftovers on my jelly plate. There was a thin coat of color, and the white gesso, it helps to lift up the rest of the paint on my plate. So I have only a little bit paint left, and I'm cleaning. I'm using a baby wipe to clean it. Okay, new test. The burnt sienna. It's my favorite brown color. Yes, it's so incredible. And my brush a little bit dirty. I don't think it's a problem. It's fun to play around. I also now have a little bit of the tiger orange, and I think the tiger orange and the burnt sienna, it's also a perfect match. And some sprays and a new paper, and you can see a lot of water and a gorgeous vintage pattern. some sprays again, and it's still having color on my brush. And I will add a little bit more color. And here you see I had a little bit of the black. So you see me playing around, and you can do many different way and in different colors. That's only what kind of effect you like. But I have a thing for brown, and to lighten up a little bit I use the tiger orange, because I think it will be like a fall inspired project. Because I haven't decided. And you see I was printing like a 2-layer paper, and here also I take the next layer of one print and doing one. Oh, that's gorgeous. You see, 2 layers and not too much water on them, so you can create your own pattern. So here I go again. Oops, and a really dirty brush. So I have like a green yellow color. I don't mind. And now I add the stencil again. And like before, it's not the pattern here. I'm so interested because I want to lift up the pattern. I can use that in a next step. What's fun now is this step. So here I do one more pattern, and that's more interesting to do something in the future with it. Okay, so I have amber color. It's a more lighted version with a little bit green from the burnt sienna, and with the tiger orange. So I try to mix some colors and to see what I can do with it, and careful with the brayer and tapping around, and yeah, adding the same paper to add a second layer and to see if the music note can get a different shade. I leave them for drying. Okay, some water, brayer, and still there are a lot of color, and using the paper again, a lot of water, but it's a good way to pick up the color what's left. This one I really like, so I'm picking up one more layer here, and to see if, because it was a little bit lighted. That's nice. So here I go, playing and testing and using the liquid acrylic paint from Finnabair on the jelly plate. Don't use too much water, and the paints have a lot of pigments, so you don't need too much of the color. And it's a fun way to make like a smooshing technique on the jelly plate. So I am excited to see what of the papers, which one I will use for my journal pages, I'm thinking. We can see if I find some of them that I like. Oh, that was the perfect one. I really adore that one. So a little bit of the teal, going with my brush, a little bit water, and playing with the brayer. I want to add a little bit of the acrylic sparks. It's acrylic paint, metallic with a lot of mica powder, and I'm adding a little bit, and you almost now when I have used the brayer it doesn't show, and I want to do one that perhaps matches. Ah, that's nice. And the color is perfect, exactly the shade that I want. And I'm tapping more water and adding more of the sparks because I really like the effect that it's a little bit contrast color, and it have a little bit glitter. The mica powder gets a gorgeous effect. Ah, that's lovely. I really love that one. So I'm thinking I'm ready to do something with them. Yes, all my papers have been dried up, and I have my journal from Finn, and my papers have been dried up, and I have found my two favorites in the pile of different papers. I'm sure I will use the paper in some other project. But now I have choose the two last one. I was really happy with them, with the teal, little bit grayish, and sparks. And now I have a bunch of stamp sets from Finnabair. I start with some stamps from the Beautiful Story stamps from Finn, and I stamping randomly here and there. I want to add a little bit more interest and texture to my background. And I had so fun just playing with colors and the jelly plate. Oh, it was so fun. Be sure to try it out. And you see me stamping randomly with different stamps. I'm trying to thinking where I want to have my composition. I was giving paint on old paper, so it gets a little bit more of the brownish and amber. So I will glue it with a soft gloss gel, like a decoupage technique. And I'm sure to glue under the paper and also on the upper side. So I'm sure it will stick. So here I have added some contrast to my page, and suddenly it gives more interest. I have some washi tape. I try to do layering on my art journal page, and sometimes you can help the washi tape to also use some medium under and over, so you will be sure when it's dry it will stay there. So here I have some different layers, and to make even more interest I'm using stamps again from the beautiful set. Yep, and all stamps I'm using, they are from Finnabair. She have many stamp sets, different in the Arcade Daily Collection and the Prima. Here I have some white heavy gesso, and I have a honeycomb stencil, and I wanted to give like a cloudy effect. So I'm tapping here and there with the gesso, also to give more interest to the background, and in the same time, because I'm using white, to not leave it too busy. And here, to give more interest, I have a black pen, and of course I have been drying the stencil with the white gesso before I use my pen. And here I have a 3D matte gel. So this is the one other way to do what you can do with the liquid. So I'm doing a colorful paste with 3D matte gel, brown and tiger orange, and I also add some glitter in my paste. So I blend it, and when I'm happy, I have my own gel. If you have too much color, the gel will not work in a stencil. So I think that's what makes it so perfect with the liquid acrylic, that because it's so high pigmented, you can use it, blend it with the pastes. So here I have made my own paste with the liquid acrylic paint. So it shows you that you can use paints and things on a new different way. Okay, now I have a really busy background on some places and really soft on some. I have the card postal stamp set, and it has some gorgeous numbers. So I'm stamping these numbers randomly here and there to make different shapes. And you see I'm stamping nearby where I have been working before to leave some spaces free. Here I have some wild and free stamp sets, some wonderful birds and flower set, and butterflies. I'm do some embossing with them. So here, when they are dried, I'm doing some cutouts. And now come the third way, how I will use the liquid acrylic paint. I'm simply use a little bit paint and a little bit of water, and I'm painting my cutouts. And here I don't paint with perfection, just to give them a little bit color. So, having so fun to use the same paint but in different ways. And I will show you even one more. My cutouts, I add them on some foam tape, so they will so it will be a little bit depth. And you see me, I'm adding them where I have my clusters, where I have my busy places. So I'm really happy. Now I have a little bit left when I was painting my birds. I have a little bit leftovers with the burnt sienna. And yes, I do some splattering over. And so fun playing with the same acrylic paint but on different ways. And here you see me using the same paint but on 4 different ways. Aren't that just so fun and so amazing? I think so. And my art journal pages start to getting ready. Now I'm looking after some metallic embellishment, and I'm deciding to have the mini Roman numerals. And why do I add metallics? I think I always want to add something that is not painted that give another texture. It can be fabric, metallic, glass, or something else that you haven't paint, that you haven't, you leave it natural. I think that gives some extra effect. Now I'm adding my sentiments and my art journal pages start to getting ready, and I hope you have been staying here and watching my process. And today I have a little bit more long video, and be sure if you like to give the thumbs up and let me know what you think. I would be so happy if you subscribe, leave a comment, and I hope to see you soon again. See you, and see you soon again in the next tutorial. Have a nice day. See you. Bye bye.